Hey guys, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Got a little project today. Gonna install an under the sink reverse osmosis water purifier. It also does UV purification from a company called SimPure. If you remember a couple of years ago, I reviewed their countertop model, but decided not to use it in the RV just because we don't have much counter space and it was a bit of a pain. You also had to refill it. But lately they've come out with this new unit that can be installed underneath the sink out of the way. Comes with its own faucet. Much like if you've watched my videos in the past, I've had a Activa UV water purifier under there. But this thing does reverse osmosis, which will be handy when we're down in the desert. Because I find when we drink the desert water, the dissolved solids stay in the water no matter how much filtering you do and UV purification. The only way to get rid of that's kind of with the reverse osmosis unit. So this will be handy down in the desert. Now this company did send this out as a review sample, just as a disclaimer. I'm just going to do the install today and then I'll come back after using it a while and let you know how it's working out for us. Now installation is pretty simple. The box fits under. It gets powered by an AC adapter here that you plug into an AC outlet. Luckily I got one pretty close to where I'm going to be installing this under my bathroom sink. And you have the various hoses. You have one that goes, you got to tap into your freshwater feed. And then you got your outlet that goes to the new tap here. And then there also is a wastewater line to install because when you do reverse osmosis, it has wastewater as part of its process. They give you a little saddle to go onto a plumbing pipe so that it can get rid of the wastewater right into the sink drain. What else we got here? It's got a little shut-off valve that will go into the water line, the water feed. Now this is basically designed more for home use, I noticed, because they kind of expect you to have a valve underneath there in either a 3/8 or a 1/2 inch water line. But in my RV, they just have a straight PEX run, 1/2 inch PEX run going in there. So even with the 1/2 inch adapter, I don't have a way to screw it in there. So I had to get myself a few extra parts here. I've got a couple Sharkbite components to make the job easy so I can cut the PEX pipe. I have a cutter here to cut the pipe, and then I can press fit that on. And then I have one that is a 1/2 inch male NPT threads and a female NTP threads, and that will mate to this little device here. And then that has a feed using one of those pipes to go into the unit. On the top of the unit here, we have wastewater, inlet water, and outlet water. And then there's a display on the front to give you information and a reset button. So let me show you where I'm going to be installing this. So here is our bathroom area, and this is where I had installed the Activa purifier before. And so I already have a hole in the sink to put that extra faucet. Otherwise the instructions tell you how to drill the hole out and the dimensions. I think it's a 1/2 inch hole you need or something like that. Anyway, mine is there and will work. And then, like I say, I have an outlet here used to charge our dustbuster there, so it's got an extra outlet. So I'll be able to run and through the wall here and put the plug in. And then for the wastewater, I should be able to attach it here. They say they want it above the P-trap. So I should be able to tap into that. Here's the water line. Like I say, it's 1/2 inch PEX. And you can see the previous unit came with this shut-off valve, and it was already using the Sharkbite connectors. So I might just have to cut the pipe a little bit different because the next one's going to be a little bit longer, but I'll do the same for that. And then I should be able to just have the unit sit down in here. Before I install it, I'll give you a quick look at the filter system here. I guess that's for styrofoam for shipping. So you got two filters there, RO filter and carbon filter. And I believe they said something like 1,000 and something gallons can be filtered through here before you have to change them, depending of course on the quality of water going in. But looks like it's pretty easy to open them. A couple clasps to undo that, pop them out. Anyway, maybe I'll get more into that when I review it. I think I'm going to be able to have enough space to mount it right along this wall here. Yeah, it looks like that's going to fit just perfect in there. So first I'll install the faucet. There's a little ring and a rubber washer there. That'll get put on the side of my sink. And then underneath here, there's another rubber and then a nut to tighten it up. On the bottom, there's this piece that'll fit into the faucet. And then on the other side, the hose that feeds to the unit. They give you these little clips to put on after you put the hose in, just to lock it in place, little locking clips for all the different hoses. So there's the outlet installed. Let's give you a peek way up there. There we go. So the lines are all marked. They're labeled, like that's wastewater. And then this one is inlet water. And then they've put a mark on the end of the hose here, how deep you're supposed to put it into the connection there. So next, let's install the drain, put the collar on there and install that line. So I drilled a 1/4 inch hole into the drain pipe there. And then this saddle will be attached. First there's a little gasket here to put on, some sticky back, and then this gets attached with nuts and bolts. And then there'll also be a pipe go into there, and then down to the wastewater. Well, made a little bit of an oopsie there. I should have mounted it here. This pipe is a lot smaller, but I think I can get away with it by just putting in a rubber shim on the back there. Otherwise it would be too small of a pipe for this saddle. Okay, wastewater pipe installed. I think that's going to be okay. It's pretty tight. If not, I could always patch that hole and then move the saddle down a bit. So now we're going to turn off the water. I'm going to install the freshwater feed there. So that PEX cutter makes a nice clean cut there. I can install this, attach the two Sharkbite connectors, put some Teflon tape in there. Hopefully it'll seal up nice. Now this one's going to be a bit longer than that, so I'm going to have to cut that pipe to fit. Well, as always with plumbing, that was more work than I anticipated. I couldn't get this to seal very well. For some reason, this wouldn't thread into the Sharkbite fitting very deep at all. I can only get about maybe 4 or 5 threads in. And I tried the regular water Teflon tape for water pipes. It didn't work. Finally, I decided to try the yellow stuff that's a bit thicker they use for gas pipes. And that seems to have done the trick, but I may have to do something different to that to resolve it if it starts to leak. Maybe pipe dope or something like that, or go with a different connector. Anyway, it's not leaking right now, so we can keep moving on. And I can put my fresh water feed in. There we go. All the water lines are hooked up. Attach the power supply up here. Keep it well off the floor in case we get a leak. And then I've run it along there. Zip tied it to a few brackets underneath. And now I have over here, I can plug it right in there. So it says the first time you fire it up, turn on fresh water feed and gooseneck faucet, then plug in and let system run for 20 minutes to rinse all fittings and new filters. Check for signs of any leaks. Okay, so we got this on, and we'll turn this on, and we will plug it in over here. There we go. Seems to be making a bunch of noises. Pressurizing. It's actually rating the total dissolved solids 99. Oh, there we go. We're getting something running out of there. So not too loud. It's got a symbol here. It says UV and the reset. And then it has two filter icons. So I guess when those filters clog, they change color to let you know it's time to change it. You can see the total dissolved solids dropping. I guess that's as it's filtering. So far I don't see any leaks going on, so I'll let it run for 20 minutes. Okay, I'm running for 20 minutes, haven't had anything leaking. It's sort of stayed at 2 parts per million total dissolved solids. So I'm turning it off here. Hopefully it'll shut off. There we go. Seems to shut down. I saw the UV light go. That's good because I was worried about how much it's going to run when we're off grid or anything, because it says it does draw a max of I think 88 watts. So yeah, you need to plug it into AC power. We always have our inverter running, so it's not a big deal, but I'll have to see how much it draws. So let's do a quick power test here. Right now it's just sitting, doing nothing, and I have it plugged into a meter here. So it's drawing 0.026 amps, barely anything. We're at 118 volts. It's not even showing up in watts. So just have 1 decimal point there. Let's see how many watts it draws when we turn it on. Yeah, 82.9. Turn it off. There we go. So it only draws the wattage when you're actually dispensing. Otherwise it barely draws anything. Maybe I'll leave it for 24 hours here and we'll see how many kilowatt hours it uses. Okay, so I decided to let this run. So it's been running almost 95 hours, and it's not even really showing up on the kilowatt meter here. And 0.0, so it's not even getting to 100 watt hours. So really not much power usage at all, although you have to run a inverter with it. I looked at the back of the adapter and it looks like it puts out 24 volts DC, so a person could use a DC to DC converter and maybe save a little bit of power that way. I think I figured out why I was having issues with this connection. The Sharkbite connector I bought uses taper threads, National Pipe taper, and these threads are probably straight. So I'm feeding a straight threads into a tapered threads. So Probably need a different connection here, but so far it seems to be working. So I'll be back with a review. I'm going to use this for the next couple months. Probably come back late April, early May, and let you know how it's worked out for me. Whether anything's leaked or anything like that. How it's performed. Just try turning it back on. Fire it back up. See, this is jumping a little bit. Just a little. Anyway, seems to have a pretty good stream. Give her a taste. Nope, not too bad. Till next time, Ray from Love You RV and Boat. Cheers, everyone.